our other winner, Magnus Carlsen, after his roller coaster match. Magnus, congratulations. That was a crazy one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really poor match, to be fair. Like in terms of the quality of the chess, I'm sure it was exciting to watch, and I think neither of us played particularly well. I'm happy to have pulled through, of course, but yeah, generally a day to forget.
A lot of dramatic moments, and I think you know the one I want to bring up first. Game 2, Magnus. Queen G5, we saw both of you react. What happened in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I blundered 2 pawns. Like, I just didn't see that the pawn on b6 was hanging. I was just thinking, why are you going knight c4? That makes no sense. I'll go knight c6, and my thoughts didn't really go any further. Like, fortunately, I had sort of half reasonable practical compensation, at least there. Yeah, when he played bishop c3, I sort of had the feeling that this move was a little bit wrong. And the thing is, I was fairly happy with knight e3. That's why I didn't really look too much further. And it was only like a little bit after I'd made the move, when he was thinking, that I realized what I could have done. I don't know, like, how it came to me. I just suddenly realized that Queen G5 would have mated him. So yeah, that was insane. Always look for captures and checks, kids.
Yeah, checks, captures, and threats. Well, Magnus, but you seem to have recovered really quickly from that, because that's something that we were talking about in the studio, that it can be a bit difficult to let go of that. Was that a challenge at all for you?
Yeah, my main problem was that my brain was not working so well. So like, recovering from that was okay, especially as it made me realize or enforced my sort of prior belief that he was also missing some stuff, because he was even though like he defended really well in game 1, he basically like stumbled into a lost position there in the early middle game from an opening that's fairly innocuous. So I didn't feel like he was doing great. Afterwards I just couldn't find the moves there either. I felt like I should be fine, but I couldn't see it. So for instance, a couple of moves later, when I took the pawn on d3 and played bishop e5, I was thinking to myself that this has to be wrong. This is not the way to play the position. There has to be something better. I just didn't see it, which was a really like frustrating feeling. Usually I don't want to give up sort of the battle in that sense, just like, you know, admit to yourself that you're not going to find the right continuation, but this time I did. Yeah, anyway, like later on I was of course considerably worse, but he just blundered a pawn after and after that it was probably nothing. Third game was the only game that was I think quite good. I guess I was slightly better from the opening, and later on, you know, he gets a lot of difficult choices eventually, and a lot of times people collapse. So I think that was a good game. But also the fourth, well, first of all, I got blundered in the opening when I played knight e5, which is insane. I mean, he could just go f4, which I realized after I'd made the move, because I can never go knight c4 because of knight takes b5. And then I also went for this plan with g5, which I think is okay, but I made all the wrong moves. Like bishop e7 allows rook h6, and then queen h2. Then I allowed the sack on b5. So that was pretty bad. But you know, yeah, at least it made for a really exciting game. So that's the good part.
It really did, Magnus. It was a really fascinating match to watch for many and for us to commentate on. In the third game, a really nice finish there, a really beautiful checkmating pattern at the end. And finally, going on to game 4, Jan, he also played fantastic chess, created his chances in that end game, the queen and rook, the king and queen versus king and rook. Getting into that, did you feel like there are real chances to hold this? How confident were you that you'd reach the 50-move rule?
No, I mean, I did have an eye on it. So I think like getting to the position where Black has to put up the 7th ranked defense is fairly easy in general, but the 7th ranked defense is not super trivial to break down. I wouldn't say it's really hard, but it requires like a little bit of knowledge in general. I mean, it's not, at least with seconds, it's not so easy to find intuitively. So whether he knew how to break it down or he was just a bit exhausted with seconds, so he couldn't really remember or figure it out over the board, I don't know. But when he was starting to struggle, and I think at some point I saw that we'd made a little over 20 moves, I think, and he was still not making progress, then I started to think, yeah, actually, I could perhaps hold it. And to be honest, like the last 10 moves or so, my play was a little bit lackadaisical in the queen versus rook ending, but that was partly because I knew at that point he was not going to make it in time. So I thought, yeah, let's not blunder the rook in one move, and then I'll be fine.
And Magnus, congratulations. What are your thoughts on the match against MVL tomorrow?
Yeah, it's exciting to get to play Maxim. He did tremendously well in the Speed Chess Championship, crushing. Gukesh was sort of expected, but also the way he won against Nihal was a little bit unexpected for me. And not that he won, but the way he won, and very impressive. And also, like, he was leading against Hikari with the bullets when the bullets started, and I feel like even before that he had many chances to lead even more. And of course, he beat 2 very, very strong players to get there. So yeah, it's good to get a crack at him again. It's been a while, I feel, yeah, I think I got to show up with a little bit more energy than I did today, because yeah, today was not good.
And Magnus, we have a question from the community chats, and could you tell us more about your upcoming book? I believe it's called Grind Like a Grandmaster. What's the book about?
I think it's exactly about that. It's about grinding out half points basically in the end game, having the mindset to never give up, always look for your chances, whether it be being holding a difficult position or trying to convert winning positions or press minute edges. So it's a subject that's very, close to both David and my heart. We're both, accomplished grinders on the chessboard. So yeah, that's basically it. It's our thoughts on how to outlast your opponents in chess.
So Magnus, you're basically saying if the viewers buy the book, they can hold Queen versus Rook against Ian Nepomniachtchi.
Yeah, it's a bit funny though, because I actually did win queen and rook, queen versus rook against him, also with very limited time in the Global Chess League earlier this year. So yeah, I feel like I sort of definitely maxed out that one, that little matchup. But I probably can't promise such a thing, but it will help you not get into queen versus rook.
All right, well, Grind Like a Grandmaster. That's a book that I think we'll all be picking up. Magnus, one more feature chat question before we let you go in our last tournament. It was carrots. That was your secret recipe. And this one is by Community Patrol. And he wants to know, what is your go-to breakfast on tournament day?
I usually don't eat breakfast. So that's the simple answer.
And Magnus, I'm going to hit you with one more. This is a question from Nihil2501. Will you log on to play Title Tuesday now?
Yeah, I might play a couple of games just to get a good feeling.
All right, well, good luck for Title Tuesday and for your winners final tomorrow against Maxime.
Thank you.